All right, fresh off work, sweaty. I need a haircut. Got an appointment coming up. Let's get straight to the content. So recently, Joe Buttons was talking about Essence Festival, right? So y'all know Essence, Jet Magazine, shit like that. That's historical Black American shit. Like I grew up seeing the Jet Magazine, Robin Givens on the front, shit like that, right? You already know I'm off this mixed drink. Now I've been listening to Joe Buttons podcast for a long time. When Joe Buttons is cooking about a subject, let's say like with Spotify, he was cooking the whole time. When Joe is cooking like that, the rest of the cast has to know, yo, it's time to fall back, ISO on Joe, let him cook, right? So if y'all not familiar, and I'm really familiar with the Foundational Black American Movement, FBA, right? Joe was saying how Essence didn't pass the vibe check. You got a woman from Kenya in charge of it, and they made it a lot of African. It was like an African type of festival type thing. It wasn't for foundational Black American greatness, right? Even though Essence was started by foundational Black Americans. Hey, yo, one of the most silliest things I ever seen, I don't even want to say silly, it just goes to show when people culturally are not Black. Yo, why is Flip saying, yeah, Joe, I seen you on that lately? Like, yeah, it wasn't like that when I first got up there. It wasn't like this when I first got up there, but yeah, I see you on this, like, alluding to the fact that Joe on this foundational Black American shit, right? So Joe says, like, yeah, as I get older, like, it's more blatant in my face, and I'm becoming my father. Hey, yo, Flip, don't question when a man is having a spiritual awakening. It's not for you. You Caribbean. You an islander. When Joe is tapping in to some shit that Black Americans need to tap into, yo, ISO on him. Move out the way. We don't need that island energy. Shout out to the people from the island, though. But it's not that time. For a long time, foundational Black Americans, we put in a lot of work. And, like, a lot of people take credit. Not take credit. They'll take credit for it because you got dudes like Fat Joe talking about we created hip hop. You got Caribbean saying that Caribbean started Bloods and Crips. Like, the shit get messy online, believe me. But, like, it's about time foundational Black Americans. Now, we always heard of, like, cultural appropriation, right? But, like, Black Americans is really calling it out and standing on it because it's a lot of people that's with us when we pop in because we are the most populous culture. Our culture is emulated globally. So that's not even up for debate. But, like, when Joe Buttons is talking about this FBA movement, yo, Flip, pardon my French? No, not pardon my French. Hey, Flip, when you do your ancestors, right? And I follow Flip. I fuck with some of Queen's Flip content. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about your culture and shit like that, you go to an island. When dudes like me and Joe Buttons is talking about this Black American shit, our family go down south. I just recently had a family reunion up here, and my family from the south came up. Like, yo, bro, you don't really relate to it. You just a fan of the culture, my boy. Move out the way. ISO on Joe. And that whole cast, their whole interactions with Joe. And Joe, like, even you gotta do like Mark Lamont Hill. And see, this is my problem with Mark Lamont Hill. Mark Lamont Hill is an articulate brother. Yo, Joe called him out dancing around the subject of this Kenyan lady having an African vibe for the Essence Festival and not a lot of Black Americans showing up, aka not even a lot of Black people showing up or people in general. And instead of Dr. Mark Lamont Hill speaking about that, he played around and Joe called him out on that. And then Joe proceeded to let niggas know what it was. It was owned by a Liberian dude. Then it's taken over by a Kenyan woman, and she don't respect Black excellence. So she's trying to bring African culture. Yo, I hate to break it to y'all. It is what it is. And it's not because I'm a Black American. Yo, African culture don't pop like that. It's all about, you got people in Africa dressing like us. Come on, man. For a long time. Like, it's about time that Black Americans start taking credit. Like, give us credit for our shit, or we taking credit for our shit. And that's what it is. When Joe was talking, that shit gave me goosebumps. You gotta do like Dr. Mark Lamont Hill talking about Essence is a staple. Yo, you gotta be careful because these Black intellectual people, granted, one time Joe kind of disrespected Ish when it comes to like the housing stuff and buying houses, flipping houses. He said it was a scam. He owed Isha an apology. The real scam is black intellects. Because Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, he not out here really trying to give information. He giving information, and he also got 24 books. And he also got that Afrocentrism type stance where it's just like, yeah, but essence is a foundation, so we got to be careful. We got to be careful with what, nigga? If the foundation is fucked up, let the foundation rot. That's that weak mentality. Hey, listen, if you're not with this FBA movement, I'm sorry. It's time to get out the way. A nigga like Queens Flip, like, when you grow up like a black American, right? I'm a black American, right? Some of y'all black Americans. Yo, I grew up looking at pictures of Jesse Owens. Yo, Jesse Owens got dubs in racing during Nazi Germany. What are we talking about right now? Joe Louis went to Nazi Germany, knocked a German nigga out. The fuck are we talking? Yo, Flip, move your island ass out the way. Go talk about Vibes Cartel. We on some black American shit right now. Melissa Ford, another one. Yo, Melissa Ford. Hold on, y'all. Yo, Melissa Ford. I get it. Hold up. I'm sparking because I'm going to be talking to y'all for a second. Because, like, when we dealing with this FBA shit, it's more than a vibe check. It's like, yo, y'all got to learn to read the room. Us people, and Joe is one of them that's on this FBA shit. Yo, if you not with it, move from the fuck around. Because we standing on that 10 toes down. I'm on it, bro. And I celebrate, like I said, I got a lot of love for other cultures and shit like that. But for this culture, we don't get respect, and we don't get enough respect for the shit that we start, and people take credit and people leech off the culture. Yo, you could go on, some of y'all might know this if you're a Joe Budden's fan and you follow like other channels and shit like that. Yo, it's 44 Africans covering the Joe Budden podcast. Are you serious right now? You want to talk about vulturism? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, give me 1 second. You want to talk about vulturism? Every two YouTube channels about Joe Buttons or black culture is African people leeching. Like I said before in one of my other videos, yo, no African with money coming over here to build a rec center for black Americans. They not doing nothing. Let alone did y'all come and try to fight for our ancestors? No, our ancestors had to fight for our rights over here. This FBA movement is about showing them respect. No, y'all can't come into culture no more and just piggyback off our shit while trying to go back to y'all other culture, build up y'all other culture and shit on us. Nah, that time is over with. Shout outs to Joe Buttons for that. Melissa Ford trying to beat around the bush. Hey, Melissa Ford, listen. Shout outs to Melissa Ford, because we all grew up watching Melissa Ford videos, magazines, whatever, right? Yo, Melissa Ford, you got a lot of trauma with black men because of your dad. I'm not going to get too deep in it because this ain't on no shit to disrespect Melissa Ford. But Melissa Ford, we know that, like Melissa Ford touched on it in the podcast, we know that somebody molested you, found you did something, and your dad didn't do nothing about it, right? So what you see and what you think about black men is screwed because of your relationship with your father, because he wasn't a protector. So I understand that. Yo, Melissa Ford, when we talking about foundational black Americans, yo, you not an American and you not even black like that because you don't even know how to do the electric slide. I'm not being petty. She said it on the pod and they was laughing on the pod. She can't even do the electric slide. And I'm supposed to listen to her talk about essence? Please. Because low-key, Melissa Ford, you got a black dad, you leeching off the culture too. Because when it's anytime it has to do with white topics, not just black women, when it has to do with white male actors or actresses, yo, she handle it with kid gloves. When it's one of us, a black American, that's on top, and let's say they did wrong, or they might have did wrong in her opinion, yo, the gloves is off and she go at them, kick they back in. Can't respect the Melissa Ford. Hey, when we talking about this FBA movement and Joe talking, yo, ISO on Joe. You and Flip, shut that ass up. Mark Lamont Hill, scam Lamont Hill. When you saying, yo, we gotta be careful what we support and don't support, because essence is a staple. Essence is a staple. Yo, it's not a staple if they not handling us properly. It's over. It's cooked. But you don't know nothing about that. See, an intelligent brother like Mark Lamont Hill, he has to have certain ideologies because he always trying to sell you a motherfucking book. Y'all gotta watch this shit, bro. Mark Lamont Hill ain't staying on business, or he would have never been on Piers Morgan with Myron Gaines. I'm not trying to hear the excuses. That's not real FBA. If you really a fan of the podcast and you heard Flip disclose certain things about Mark Lamont Hill has a child right now, a son, a baby boy. Mark Lamont Hill claims his woman is a black woman. The kid's first language is Spanish. Yo, Mark Lamont Hill, when Joe Buttons is talking this FBA, ISO on Joe, move. Ice. Ice. At the end of the day, and I'm talking, listen, just out of respect, I'm a fan of the JBP. But when we talking about this FBA shit, yo, if you soft, move. If you scared, get a dog or go in the house and lock the door. We standing on this. I get so passionate about this. Yeah, I'm off this mixed drink in this Cowboys cup, but I get passionate about this because I'm one of the niggas that's willing to be on the front line with it. And in real life, niggas know how I stand. We on this black American shit. This our culture. We help build this American culture too. So a nigga like Ice, Ice, you do a lot of cooning, and you come off like a brother that's not willing to fight, and that's okay. Everybody don't got fight in them. You don't, like, it's okay. No, you don't got fight in you, and get the fuck out the way, bro. Because Ice might have a little black trauma too. He watched his mom get abused. But I never heard him talk about how he tried to put hands on his stepdad or nothing like that. But he talked about how his mom got abused. So he got a little trauma with black men. So when we talking about this FBA, if you never been around a great black man and you wasn't raised around no great black men, I feel for you, bro. But we on some FBA shit. Joe talking some FBA shit. Move out the way, bro. My nigga Ish, I fuck with Ish. Shout out to Ish. Ish, you got family down south. Joe got family down south. I got family down south. So you know about these roots. You know the vibe when you get around your southern family. Yo, Ish, I'm going to need you to do better. And this ain't on no, oh, you be losing topics and shit like that. Yo, Ish, when we talking about this FBA shit, if you haven't done your research, and low-key, I'm getting tired of you not doing your fucking research, bro. And I do think Ish is educated, like, and he has good points on shit. But when we talking about this FBA shit, hearing Ish talk about the essence shit was very disappointing. Yo, Ish, if you don't know really what's going on, or you can't read the room, get the fuck out the room, bro. We on some FBA shit, bro. That nigga Joe put on a fucking clinic. I haven't felt that, like, not inspired, but like when he was talking that FBA shit, that shit was really something. Joe, you did your thing, bro. And nobody gonna talk about it. Because when we do this FBA shit, remember, black Americans, we have always included everybody. We have watched cultural appropriation type shit forever. Now we want respect, and we want the credit that is deserved. And now people want to get attitude. And then you got some of these black Americans acting like, oh no, it ain't that. No, it's that. If you can't read the room, get the fuck out the room. When Joe was talking about this shit, ISO on Joe. And then out of everybody to support Joe, of course it was Parks. And Parks, he threw like his little 2 cents in, and it was sharp. Y'all better know who fought for rights in America for black Americans. It is what it is. It was black Americans and it was white Americans. So a lot of y'all don't get the leech off us no more. Nah, man. We on that type shit. I don't care if Joe got on this FBA shit now, tomorrow, or 5 years from now. You always welcome, brother. It's always about educating. Flip, you can't relate to being a black American and knowing the significance of Jesse Owens in Nazi Germany. Hitler in attendance. Beating motherfuckers on steroids. You don't understand, bro. You're not a black American. You got your Caribbean culture. You a fan of us. That's it. You are analyst of black culture. Mark Lamont Hill give off energy. And listen, Mark Lamont Hill do shit for a community. Too many times Mark Lamont Hill come off as a black cultural analyst, bro. You niggas is pussy. I'm sorry. And it's okay. Like, listen, we don't need everybody to fight. But just know when you don't got fight in you, get out the way. It's about that time. And I need Mark Lamont Hill to be in attendance. I need Ish to be in attendance. I need Melissa Ford to be in attendance. It's about that time that Joe Buttons and Tariq Nasheed link up for a podcast. And I'm not subscribed to the Patreon. If Tariq Nasheed go on the Patreon, they could run that shit up to $250. And I'm just a warehouse worker. I'm dropping that bread. I don't think the cat's ready for that. And I need all the mics when if Joe Buttons does a podcast with Tariq Nasheed. I need all the mics. That is what it is. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Shout out to Joe Buttons. It's a movement. If you can't feel the vibe, okay. We telling you what it is. So now that you know what it is, get out the way on the podcast. ISO on Joe, FBA.